All right, everyone, today we're gonna be talking about maximizing your productivity, setting up your workspace, and being as efficient as possible. Listen, as a day trader, swing trader, short-term trader, you have a lot coming at you. Multiple information sources, multiple time frames on your charts, intraday, daily, yearly, technical indicators, news feeds, lot going on. And the more you can get efficient with your desktop and your monitor space, the better you can nail those trades and not miss the entries that you wanna get as well as exits. So that being said, I am lead trainer with Stocks Trade Tim Bohen, and I got a lot of experience in this. So I actually had a technology company, started it right out of high school. This is how old I am. This would have been about 94, 95. We actually started out custom building PCs. So if you're 1,000 years old like I am, you'll remember kind of in the 80s and the 90s, like getting a computer was almost like, not quite as elaborate, but it was almost like a kitchen remodel, okay? You would sit down with a consultant, you would talk about options, because every single option you chose was a lot of money. Like you had to decide, do I want sound, okay? I know that sounds funny, but like a sound card back then would be like $250. So if you were only doing spreadsheets, you'd be like, no, I don't need the sound card. Graphics, monitor size, going from a 14-inch tube monitor to a 17-inch tube monitor would be like $500. So anyway, that was my business. So I'd always been a hardware guy, had that business for about 15 years, sold it in 2013, and went into full-time trading. So that being said, I'm a trader and a technology guy, so I know both facets of it. So let's get back to the point. Like, I get asked a lot, can you trade on just a single screen laptop? And the answer is yes. Actually, can you just trade on a phone, okay? And the answer is yes, you can just trade on a phone. Now, is it maximizing the potential and timing, etc.? No, okay? But it can be done. But I think you're gonna miss a lot of opportunities, and I think a lot of the times you may rush into decisions because you don't have the screen real estate to bring up multiple time frames, okay? That's something I highly recommend. A 1-day, 5-minute chart, a 2-month, 15-minute chart, and a 1-year, 1-day chart, okay? So when I've got that stock up, I bring that, I get a news feed that hits on this monitor over there. I hit it, I bring up the stock, I instantly see all 3 time frames. I can see what the S&P 500 is doing. I've got multiple watch lists, okay? I see all of this stuff going on. Now, can you do that on a single screen monitor? Listen, I love my Mac, I love my spaces. I can hit that button, there's 15 windows, but then I gotta search for the windows, okay? But point is, it can be done. I don't think it's the most efficient way. I only trade on a single screen laptop when I absolutely have to, basically traveling, okay? That's the only time, and flat out, I'm not as efficient. It's kind of frustrating, and it just kind of, it gets you in a bad mood frequently, and you miss stuff. You flat out miss stuff, and you find yourself rushing into decisions. So what is the optimal setup? I think a lot of people frequently go to the far extreme, and I actually did that a few times. I would think, I'm guessing about 4 or 5 years into my trading career, I was like, things were really starting to work well, things were really clicking, and I went whole hog. I went with 8 monitors, had this huge standing desk. It was like almost 4 feet deep, and I think 8 feet wide. It was basically the size of a sheet of plywood, okay? Really nice desk, but I had to do that to fit all of these monitors in the arms. And basically, it was literally this wide, and I had to sit here and pan across all this information. And at the end of the day, I actually downsized about a year later because it got to the point where it was actually counterproductive. Like, I was trying to watch all of this stuff, and it just like, it was information overload. So the sweet spot, and what I recommend, is 3 monitors. I think that is the perfect setup, and this is me based on 17 years of experience. I've been running this 3-monitor setup that I'm gonna talk about for probably the last 6 or 7 years, roughly, and I've had no desire to change. I've had no desire. So the way I run is 1 big monitor in the center with 90% of my, or not 90%, all of my charts and my order entry, okay? Like, the real work is done on this 34-inch monitor, okay? I've got everything set up. Then I've got, and that's a normal portrait monitor or landscape monitor. Then what I've found that works, and I really like this setup, because I could basically see everything without having to move around and move my head and stuff. I have 2 portrait monitors. They're also 34 inches, but they're turned on the end, okay? So they're the tall. So what that allows me to do is set up all the data feeds, chat rooms, even my Slack or notifications, a lot of the stuff that's just kind of data feeds, and I can see that when there's information hitting, whether, like say a high day scan, always running the high day scan, that's actually over on this monitor. So I can always see when tickers are hitting that high day scan, or the VWAP scan, one of my favorites. So I've got the scans over here, and then I got the chat rooms and the data feeds over here, and now, because of the way they scroll, I can just see out of the corner of my eye, okay, new breaking news. Oh, new high a day. Oh, new stock on the VWAP scan. Something just lit up on Oracle, okay? And because of that, I'm able to basically manage all of that and know what's going on in a usable format. Now, what is nice about that is it's transferable to a laptop too, because what's nice, and I traveled with monitors before, it's kind of a hassle, but you can do it. USB monitors, what I love is any laptop, any semi-powerful laptop can drive multiple monitors on USB. Going back to the olden days, you used to have like this dock. Who remembers the docks? You had to put the laptop in, and that's how you hooked up multiple monitors. Cords everywhere, power supplies. So it's nice. You can go to Amazon and just search for, a portrait USB monitor. They have a little stand. They usually fold up. They're like $100, and then you can set those next to your laptop. Smaller screen space, but maybe you got better eyes than me. I'm 1,000 years old. If you're young, probably wouldn't bother you. I need the bigger monitors. But you can replicate that setup, and you can see everything at the exact same time without having missing things or getting frustrated, and it's still travel friendly or small apartment friendly or dorm room friendly, etc. Because those monitors are basically the same size as the laptop. So my friends, I think that is the optimal setup. I found that over 17 years. I think you're really not only just the space, but and the power and the hassle. I think if you get beyond that 3-monitor setup with the portraits, it actually becomes counterproductive. Like it's like you kind of hit that bell curve, okay? Down here's 1 monitor. Over here on the bell curve is 8 monitors like I had, or 10, or I've seen some crazy setups online. I think the bell curve peaks at 3 monitors with that setup. Travel friendly, space friendly, power friendly, budget friendly. Again, if you got a nice laptop and a couple $100 monitors, friendly on the budget. So that being said, my friends, definitely check out all of our channels. I know this one was a little more tech-based versus technical. If you're looking for those technical patterns, breakouts, trades, scanners, all of that information, definitely subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. I know we didn't talk about any trading, but we get asked so much about this gear setup, and I think it's important. So check out those other videos, and we'll talk technical, we'll talk all kinds of trading strategies, and would love to see you on the channel.